We began a scenario where Vegeta was born just like Broly, having the same type of mutation. And now, after defeating Frieza and stealing the throne from him, what'll happen next? We'll cover all that and more in the second part of What If Vegeta Was Like Broly. Vegeta's empire continues to expand, but let's go to Earth for a bit. About 2 years pass since their reunion at Kame House. Gohan is still training under Roshi, and Goku frequently visits the island. Same for Krillin too. And this creates the perfect opening for Piccolo. He knows exactly where Goku's gonna be. He's continued his training, and he has a special attack prepared just for this. Now, this attack definitely is going to be strong enough to defeat Goku, but the issue was, it took a while to charge up. So Piccolo's been working on that, trying to make it faster and more powerful. Not to mention, he's been trying to figure out a good way to use it in combat because it still does need a little bit of charging. Goku isn't just going to sit there and let him charge it. Piccolo attacks Kame House one day, first making quick work of Roshi and Krillin. This will be a fight just between him and Goku. The two then float above the island, with an injured Krillin and Roshi watching from below, and Gohan's there too. And Piccolo finds it kinda humorous. His best friend, his master, and his son are all gonna watch him die. Goku's not too sure about that. He has been training a fair amount, and even if Piccolo's strong, he's sure that he's gonna win here. The two have an explosive battle, but it is pretty clear Goku has the advantage here. And watching from below, Krillin can very clearly see that Piccolo knows he's gonna be defeated. He's confident in Goku's victory, and so is Roshi. Though something does feel off. Krillin's not really too sure why. From below, Krillin can sense that Piccolo's power is climbing, though he's still losing. It doesn't really make sense to either of them. Why is his power growing if he's clearly being worn out? And then he realizes, that's not Piccolo's power he's sensing. That's a separate power. Goku felt this power too, but Piccolo fought really strategically here, enough to keep Goku distracted and make him not realize the two powers are separate. That's why he fought in the air. Far above where the two are fighting, high up in the clouds, there's another Piccolo. He split his power directly in half, and the Piccolo floating above them is charging a Makanko Sappo. Piccolo then stretches his arms out, wrapping them around Goku, and he grows in size too. It's not increasing his strength, but it makes it harder for Goku to escape. It all happens so quickly. Just as Piccolo wraps his arms around him, a beam of light bursts through the clouds above. Goku struggles to break free, but it's already too late. The beam pierces right through his torso, ripping Piccolo's arms clean off as well. The mortally injured Goku falls into the water below. Piccolo descends down, and then from the clouds above, another Piccolo descends, with the two merging back into one. Had he not split into two, his power would have been just around equal to Goku's, but he still did need time to charge that attack, and his plan worked perfectly. Piccolo stretches an arm into the water and lifts Goku's body up. He's barely clinging on, and Piccolo looks at everyone on the island, smirking as he then sticks out another hand. Saying his farewell to Goku, he launches a powerful point-blank blast that kills him, finishing their battle and finally achieving victory. Piccolo then floats closer towards the island. Now, who should he kill next? As he gets close to the island, Krillin quickly launches a solar flare. And it works, but Piccolo just laughs. What, are they planning to escape? Krillin then rapidly charges a Kienzan, tossing it right at Piccolo while he's still blinded, and it cuts him clean in half. Piccolo's vision returns. He floats above the island missing half his body, and it looks like he's finally defeated, but he then starts to laugh, regenerating his lower half. That was a pretty smart plan, but surely they realize they're done for. But then something catches Piccolo's attention. That kid that was on the island. His power surges. There's a flash of light and he disappears. Piccolo then feels a sharp pain in his back as he's launched into the water below. Krillin and Roshi look up in disbelief, and Piccolo then emerges from the water. Floating above them is Gohan, completely blinded by rage, and now with golden hair for some reason. Krillin asks Roshi if he's ever seen Gohan's hair change color like that before, and Roshi's never seen anything like it. Gohan then launches back into Piccolo, relentlessly attacking him. Krillin did try to kill Piccolo before, but now Gohan has such a huge advantage that he's not even worried about killing Piccolo. He doesn't know what's exactly going on with Gohan, but maybe this is the perfect opportunity for something else. He only thought to kill Piccolo before out of desperation, but now they might not need to. Instead, they should keep him alive just so they could bring Goku back. Gohan continues attacking Piccolo, and as he launches his final blast, Piccolo is then swept away by something else, and Gohan looks back on the island, seeing Krillin performing a Mafuba, successfully sealing Piccolo away. Gohan then flies back over there and, still angered and also confused, asks Krillin what he did and why he couldn't kill Piccolo. And Krillin quickly explains he needs to calm down. If Piccolo dies, Kami goes with him and so do the Dragon Balls. They could still bring Goku back. This does calm Gohan and he de-transforms, going back into his base. Roshi wonders what the hell he just witnessed. They then hear voices in their head. It's Kami talking to them. He lets them know Goku's safe. Piccolo didn't fully destroy his body, but there's a really huge hole in his torso, both from the first attack and the second one he took. Anyways, Kami took it back up here, and now he's going to King Kai's planet. In the meantime, they can collect the Dragon Balls, and he thanks them for sealing Piccolo. They'll question what's going on with Gohan later. Right now, they should probably hunt those down. After a few days, they find all the Dragon Balls and summon Shenron. Goku's revived, but since his body is actually with King Kai, he's revived on that planet. And Goku's actually able to communicate with them. He made it across Snake Way pretty quickly. He is a lot stronger at this point. Goku says he's actually going to stay here for a bit, and while they're talking, he learns of Gohan's new form because he didn't actually get to see it for himself. He asks King Kai about it, and then King Kai reveals a really shocking truth to all of them. Goku's actually an alien known as a Saiyan, and as for Gohan, that would mean he's a half Saiyan. King Kai's not exactly sure, but he does know of a legend called the Super Saiyan. That might be what Gohan just became, and immediately it piques Goku's interest. He wants that for himself too. He's going to stay here for a bit to train, and he'll be back soon enough. Though, he apologizes to everyone for leaving for a bit. He didn't plan on staying here until he realized how great King Kai's training is going to be. Anyways, back out into space. Vegeta's not really fighting much anymore. His empire is growing more, and he doesn't really need to do as much. And when he does, it's not like he puts in much effort. Raditz and Nappa, on the other hand, are growing a ton. They exploit Zenkais by going on tough missions, and Vegeta, of course, helps them out too. Though it's having diminishing gains, so at some point, they're just going to have to do normal training. Vegeta's goal is for them to be as strong as Frieza is. Right now, their power levels are in the low millions, which is a huge improvement, but still, they're not quite there yet. As for Vegeta, he believes he's a Super Saiyan. That form he used against Frieza, channeling the power of Great Ape, emboldened by rage, that must be what a Super Saiyan is. He has no other explanation for it because he's never seen another Saiyan do something like that. Not to mention his insane growth and the fact that he's mutated, on top of being an elite warrior. That's the only explanation. He's the Super Saiyan of legend, the only one able to grow like this and do things like this. As Vegeta's empire expands, the different partners he works with get more jobs. And that includes the Heaters. They're active again, getting a lot more work, and making a ton of money as well. Granola obviously catches wind of this, especially working under them. He learns that Frieza and King Cold are dead, but the person now leading the army is a Saiyan. Prince Vegeta, in fact. This angers Granola to no end, especially because a lot of the work he's doing for the Heaters now is related to the stuff for Vegeta. Now, it's not like he's going to random planet slaughtering people, but he still is acting as a mercenary, going after specific soldiers, but mostly stealing things. But he already knows how this is going to go. Soon enough, he's probably going to be forced to be a soldier under Vegeta, or at the very least the Heaters, doing the same exact things the Saiyans did to Planet Cereal. Plus, knowing Vegeta's out there in general makes him really mad. So he seeks out the Dragon Balls, making a wish to become the strongest in the universe, beyond Vegeta. And this wish isn't really too insane. The bar is actually Vegeta himself right now. Broly, of course, is out there, but he's probably weaker than Vegeta at this point due to the latter's training. Buu is dormant, and he's not included in this, and Cell's still developing. Every other strong person like Gas, Goku, anyone on Earth, they're far weaker than Vegeta. So he's the bar, and Taranbo simply makes Granola stronger than Vegeta. By a pretty big margin too. Thankfully he doesn't have to cut off a lot of Granola's life. It's not like he's jumping to a godly level fighter. That took nearly 150 years off his life. With a power jump like this, I'd say it would probably take something like a few decades. I don't know how the wish works proportionally, but let's say it takes just 20 years off his life, which is more than a worthy sacrifice for him, especially for someone who lives 200 years. This wish makes him stronger than wrathful Vegeta, so he goes to attack the army. He catches Vegeta on his base at one point, quickly working through all the soldiers and getting to Vegeta without much trouble. Nappa and Raditz try to stop him, but each with one attack, he knocks both of them unconscious. Realizing they're Saiyans, he's about to kill them, but Vegeta then steps up, hitting Granola with a pretty powerful punch. He doesn't want to waste much time exchanging words. But before he kills Granola, he'd like to know who he is, and Granola's completely overcome with rage seeing the Saiyan right in front of him, and he tells Vegeta exactly who he is, the last survivor of the Cerealians, getting his revenge on the Saiyans. Vegeta vaguely knows about that, but he wasn't personally involved with Planet Cereal. But that doesn't matter to Granola. He's still upholding the same principles that led to the Saiyans doing that. After all, those Saiyans were loyal to Vegeta's father, and Frieza. And look where Vegeta is right now, assuming the same role as Frieza. Well, yes, so Granola should be aware that Vegeta's far stronger than Frieza at this point. And Granola knows that. But so is he, vanishing from sight. He hits a vital point on Vegeta's back, stunning him and knocking the wind out of him too. Vegeta falls to the ground, and Granola holds out a finger in front of him, charging a blast and getting ready to execute him point blank. But Vegeta starts laughing. Good. It'll be nice to finally have a challenge. And besides, he won't have to hold back his true nature. He goes into his wrathful state and the two begin fighting. But even after transforming, as well as growing in battle, Vegeta's still not able to overcome Granola. He's multiple times stronger than Vegeta is right now. And it does make Vegeta wonder, if the Cerealians were wiped out that easily by the Saiyans, how is this one so much stronger than Vegeta, the absolute pinnacle of the Saiyans? And Granola lets him know that he wished for this power, and it seems the wish was worthwhile. Vegeta starts losing more ground, and with the wrathful form still active, he tries to tap into more power from rage, starting to lose sense of himself too. The only time he was ever pushed like this was with Frieza, and even then when he assumed this form, he was strong enough to beat him. This is different. This seems like certain death. But then, Vegeta completely snaps, losing all control. Though even with this, it's not enough to defeat Granola. But Granola notices that he's growing as he fights, so he gets ready to finish this. He fires a single blast right at Vegeta's chest, but the blast simply bounces off, as Vegeta's aura then flares up. His hair grows spikier than it already is, and it takes on a golden color. As a greenish aura surrounds him, he bulks up, his ki explodes, and he ascends into the air with Granola following him. Now, Granola himself seems to be able to survive in space, but as far as he knows, he did research beforehand and Saiyans shouldn't be able to do that, but Vegeta goes high above the atmosphere and Granola chases him. A brilliant green light illuminates the planet, and Vegeta fully transforms. Raditz and Nappa are trying to keep up from below. Their scouters have recorded everything, and thankfully Vegeta's wearing a scouter during his fight too. They're gonna go through it later and figure out who this Granola guy is, but they put their scouters away for now, because they don't need to use it to read anything. They could very clearly see a powerful green light up in the sky. Vegeta has become a Super Saiyan, going completely berserk. He and Granola continue clashing, and Granola's finally losing ground. The exact moment he turned Super Saiyan, Granola still felt like he was equal to Vegeta, which was concerning because he's no longer stronger, but at least he could still utilize vital points. But Vegeta is still growing as he fights. And plus, he's on a rampage. He starts sending out blasts in every direction. Granola narrowly avoids them, but some of the blasts hit nearby planets, evaporating them with ease. Even taking out a star nearby, Granola tries to keep his distance. At least out in space, it'll be harder for Vegeta to find him. Granola needs to set up the perfect shot, and with Vegeta actually losing sight of Granola, he just goes around destroying things mindlessly. One of the stray blasts comes down to the planet where Raditz and Nappa are on right now, and using all of their power, they're able to narrowly block it. But they see a bunch of brilliant lights in the sky. There's a green streak of light flying around which they assume is Vegeta, with a bunch of smaller blasts branching out from that. At this rate, the solar system they're in and all the ones around it, they're going to be vaporized. Vegeta's going to be the destruction of his own empire. But the green light is snuffed out. Granola finds footing on a nearby asteroid. With all his power, he lines up the perfect shot, not only hitting Vegeta on a vital point, but going clean through his head. It's a good thing he landed this because if the fight went on any longer, Vegeta might have grown so much where the shot wouldn't have affected him. But even on a stronger opponent, this works. The shot itself doesn't immediately kill Vegeta, despite going right through his brain, but it mortally wounds him, instantly making him lose consciousness. And, without his power to protect him anymore, he succumbs to the vacuum of space. Now back to his normal self, dying and freezing. Granola calls a ship up here. It lands on the asteroid, and Granola looks at Vegeta's corpse one last time. There's no life coming from it. He's definitely dead. He flies off back to Cereal, but midway during his flight he realizes, oh crap, he didn't kill those other two Saiyans that were on that planet. Well, it shouldn't be a problem because they seemed way weaker than Vegeta. Besides, Vegeta might have even wiped them out in the chaos. Either way, his mission's completed. Now he needs to find a job because when he came here, of course, he did have resistance from the Heaters, so he had to kill them too. But he's finally free, and he finally got his revenge. After a few days of searching, Raditz and Nappa find Vegeta's body out in space, bringing it aboard a ship. A lot of their troops were wiped out. Granola killed a good portion of them, and when Raditz and Nappa defended against that blast that Vegeta launched at their planet, there was a really powerful explosion that killed a lot of the others. About 80% of their troops are gone, but they still have enough resources. And they can't believe it. Vegeta's truly dead. But Nappa and Raditz were going over the scouter, trying to figure out who Granola was, and they heard his entire story. And there's one thing he mentioned that caught their interest. He wished for his power. It sounded very literal, so there's a way to wish for strength. They could track down that Cerealian and figure out how he did that, but he's too strong. They don't want to fight him. Nappa suggests finding out a way to make wishes and using that to either make themselves strong or, more importantly, bring Vegeta back. And he says Namekians know some stuff about magic, right? What if they started there? Raditz isn't really too sure. They're low on resources at the moment, and they don't really know where to begin either. Nappa's going to take over the army for the time being because he's the strongest person left. Raditz will directly be his right-hand man, and he's going to research this himself, trying to figure out a way to bring Vegeta back. Though Raditz also thinks they'll need to recruit new troops, so he'll handle that too. So while he's looking for a way to bring Vegeta back, he's trying to think of who they can recruit. Maybe there's other Saiyans out there, like he knows Vegeta mentioned he had some sort of brother, though he was really weak. But then Raditz remembers. It slipped his mind. He has a brother too. Well, they've got a lot on their plates, but they could recover from this and bring Vegeta back. With that, we'll leave off here for now. What'd you guys think about this part? What's going to happen next? Leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help out the channel and shows me you want to see more like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.